Daima Goku. Even through the eyes of a child, Goku has been the strongest. 10 years after the Buu Saga, Son Goku stands as the pinnacle, the shining light over the entire universe, with the only way to defeat him is to drag him back to the beginning, wishing Goku back into a child, with the creator loving this so much that 25 years later, Akira Toriyama leaves us with one final series, and this time, he did it himself. 1 year after the events of the Buu Saga sending a demon to hell, the devil watches in awe in a realm outside of the universe itself. The new demon king Goma watches the battle for the universe against evil itself, and now needs to find a way to get these monsters out of the picture. Goma looks into the past and sees the power of the eternal dragon, and a wish comes to mind. Gathering the Dragon Balls, Goma summons Shenron and makes a wish that all the people involved in the Buu Saga be turned into children. And now it's like a series resurrected, as all of the Z fighters have returned to their child bodies. But their power has not left them, with the series in 1991 giving birth to a demon, so this series' name is only fitting. Arriving on the lookout, Supreme Kai's brother kidnaps Dende, and Goku travels with Supreme Kai and Glorio to the Demon Realm to save him. We learn that the Demon Realm exists outside of the macrocosm itself and is composed of 3 realms, and is the birthplace of the Kais. Goku arrives in the 3rd Demon Realm, but even before being turned into a child, Son Goku as an adult was stated on multiple occasions to be the strongest fighter in the universe, making him stronger than the Emperor of the Universe Frieza, who is forced to hold back 3 times over just to keep the universe from ripping apart, and even when fatigued and at half strength, still has enough energy to destroy Namek that can be seen outside of the entire galaxy. As strength has been pushed beyond its limits, woven into a being that is perfect. Cell, even before coming back from the brink of death, was stated to have infinite and bottomless strength, and after, he stated he gathered enough energy in that moment to destroy the entire solar system, with Dragon Ball solar systems containing countless stars. 7 years later, Goku erases pure evil from existence. Majin Buu is able to fight Gotenks as a Super Saiyan 3, who can warp reality just by standing, and can even tear holes in dimensions just by screaming, and was stated to be a threat to both the living world and the afterlife itself. Son Goku has now been turned into a child, and his power has been nerfed out of his prime, but his strength is still ridiculous. Goku quickly proves that no one there is a match for him, not even the Tamagamis, with the Tamagamis being robot warriors sworn to protect the 3 Demon Realm Dragon Balls at all costs, as offering a challenge to these guardians spells death for even the strongest fighters in existence. It was stated that not even King Deborah could defeat Tamagami 3, who is the weakest among them. Deborah with the Majin Amp is as strong as Super Perfect Cell, depending if you think regular Deborah is stronger than adult Supreme Kai, which is most likely the case because he was tweaking at Pui Pui. But Supreme Kai would at least be stronger than Mastered Super Saiyan Goku from the Cell Saga, which would mean even the weakest Tamagami would be in the range of Mastered Super Saiyan Gohan or Perfect Cell. Goku is able to hold his own against Tamagami 3 in his base form, but is forced to use Super Saiyan. To finally defeat this warrior, he transforms into a Super Saiyan 2 and fires a devastating Kamehameha to give himself an opening to defeat a Perfect Cell level Tamagami in a single shot. Later, when Goku meets up with Vegeta, they decide to take on the Tamagami in the 2nd Demon World, with this one being even more powerful. As Vegeta uses Super Saiyan 2 to start overpowering him, the Tamagami begins getting enhanced by Neva, the legendary Namekian. Vegeta is pressed back into the water, and with his final attack, it's over. Now we get to see something that we've never seen before. Toriyama Sensei, you really do care. Rising from the ocean is Akira Toriyama's final tribute to Vegeta. Goodbye, Vegeta. And take this with you. Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta with Super Saiyan 3 is so strong that he can catch attacks from Tamagami 2 with a single finger and split the ocean with a single kick. Vegeta uses a Gallic gun to get an opening to defeat Tamagami 2, and finally uses his arm to defeat him in a single punch. I guess even Demon Realm robots can feel fear. As they all arrive in the first Demon Realm, Goku takes on the strongest Majin, as Majin Buu is so powerful that he can actually defeat Tamagami 1 effortlessly. Goku takes him on as a Super Saiyan, meaning potentially Goku has gotten even more powerful, as their fight is interrupted by the Demon King Goma, who has obtained the evil third eye. With this eye being an artifact that was passed down from one Demon King to the next, as it grants unparalleled strength. Goma lands to fight all of them at once, and the final battle can finally begin. Goma is so strong that he can tank attacks from Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Majin Buu, Majin Buu, Tamagami 1, Shin, and Glorio all at the same time. As at this time, Goma is stated to be the strongest enemy they have ever faced, meaning he has now surpassed the power of every Majin, including Buhan. As Goku is pushed into a corner and unleashes Super Saiyan 3 against Goma, and is able to overpower him until his eye gives him even more strength, and Goku takes on Goma alongside Majin Buu, who has Super Saiyan 3. But Goku is once again overpowered and forced to go even further beyond, as Goma flies over all of them, ready to destroy them all with a single attack, and out of nowhere, Neva stands above Goku and uses his magic to unlock Goku's hidden potential. And now, oh, we are so back. 28 years later, Akira Toriyama gives his final tribute to Son Goku. Son Wukong has officially returned. Goodbye, Goku. And take this with you. Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is so strong that he can effortlessly outclass Goma in every way. Goku at this point has eclipsed Goma so much that his third eye begins to make him even stronger. But Goku is still able to keep up, as Goku releases his energy to put his lights out for one final sending the Demon King through his own arena with a devastating power that burns with a fire that can even scorch hell. We believe that Goku is the victor, but it isn't over yet. Goma's eye allows him to get even more powerful, as not even Super Saiyan 4 Goku is strong enough to defeat him. Using his magic to revert Goku out of all of his transformations, Glorio summons the Demon Realm's dragon to make one wish. Glorio wishes that all of the Z fighters return to their adult bodies once again. Everybody changes back, and now we get to see the true fighters who defeated Majin Buu. And yeah, we see the Fit Piccolo, enough. Vegeta decides to take on Goma himself and is able to keep up and even damage him using his base form alone, with this being the same Goma who easily defeated Super Saiyan 4 Goku as a child. Vegeta begins to power up and taps back into the legendary Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta with this can overpower Goma easily and uses a final flash to send Goma into the atmosphere, forcing his eye to make him even stronger. As Vegeta begins to get overpowered once again, this is when the Z fighters learn the only way to defeat the Demon King. To remove the evil third eye, you have to hit him in the back of the head 3 times in a row. So with this, Goku has a plan. But first, let's give the Demon King something he should be familiar with. A lesson. Transforming into a Super Saiyan, then a Super Saiyan 2, and now, even further beyond. Goma sees Goku as a Super Saiyan 3 and begins to laugh. What a pointless transformation. Then how about one more bonus? Son Goku arrived in the Demon Realm as a child, and now he's going to leave it as a demon. With this, Goku's Super Saiyan 4 transformation alone being seen and felt throughout all 3 Demon Realms, which is compared to the size of the universe itself, with these realms being completely disconnected from one another, as not even instant transmission or Kai can ever hope to reach them. Super Saiyan 4 Goku stands to defeat the Demon King with power above the devil himself. Goku attacks Goma as a Super Saiyan 4, and Goma is getting completely destroyed. No matter how many times his eye tries to give him more strength, the light in Goku's soul burns even brighter, and the clock is ticking for the end. Powering up and putting his hands together, Goma knows that he's going to die. Goodbye, Goma, and take this with you. Goku fires his Kamehameha, and it's so strong that it pierces straight through Goma's chest and straight through all 3 demon realms, and ends with an explosion that the entire demon realm can see with their own eyes, and the water from the 2nd demon realm pours into the 1st. And in the end, Goma is defeated by the MVP Majin Buu. Well, maybe not the MVP. It's definitely Sun Wukong, who now stands above the demon realm. Overall, Dragon Ball Daima Goku would scale to complex multiversal with infinite speed. In the end, this was the very last piece of Dragon Ball content that Akira Toriyama ever had his hands on, and it was an absolutely amazing journey with some surprising things that I never thought I'd ever get to see. So on behalf of the entire community, thank you, Toriyama Sensei, and rest in peace. Because no matter who stands in Goku's way, his enemies will never forget who's the strongest.
You haven't figured it out yet.
Son Goku, a Saiyan from Earth whose goal is to become the strongest mortal in the universe. Goku's strength has increased drastically over time, surpassing characters like Frieza, who had enough power to blow up Namek that was seen from a galactic range. The embodiment of perfection, Cell, who's been stated multiple times to have infinite and bottomless strength. The Grim Reaper of Justice, Gotenks, who can scream out of dimensions and warp reality simply by existing. And the personification of evil itself, Majin Buu. Buu possesses enough power to collapse the universe with alternate dimensions and even threaten the Grand Kai world, which is a universal-sized planet full of mass. Destroying this can be calced to octillions of times universal. And now Son Goku is entering into the realm of the gods and far beyond them. At the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, Goku is the strongest fighter on Earth, concluding the defeat of the personification of evil, Majin Buu. Goku continues to train, but unknowing to him, an even greater power has awoken after 39 years. Beerus, the god of destruction, is traveling throughout the universe, destroying everything in sight. But then he remembers. 39 years ago, Beerus was told by the Oracle Fish that a being will arise that will become his rival, a Saiyan enveloped in divine energy, a Super Saiyan God. Beerus learns of the existence of the strongest Saiyan and travels to confront Son Goku. Goku also learns of the existence of Beerus the Destroyer, and this gets his Saiyan blood pumping to test his power against the god. Goku and the Destroyer are now face to face, and Goku challenges Beerus using the pinnacle of Saiyan power, the Saiyan equal to heaven, Super Saiyan 3, as in this form, Goku's able to shake the entire afterlife by transforming alone. Beerus accepts this challenge, and what happens next nobody saw coming, as Beerus was able to defeat Super Saiyan 3 Goku in only 3 blows, with Goku himself stating that not even fusion would be enough to overcome the Destroyer's strength, meaning even a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3 Vegito would fall to the Destroyer. Goku decides the only way to win is to find this Super Saiyan God. The Z-Fighters ask the most knowledgeable being on the planet, gathering all 7 Dragon Balls and calling forth Shenron. Shenron explains that the Super Saiyan God existed long ago and that a ritual was required for him to obtain his power. 5 pure-hearted Saiyans must infuse their light into a 6th. The Z-Fighters have just enough Saiyans on Earth, including Pan, and they infuse their power into the hope of the universe. And from this light, the Super Saiyan God was born once again. Goku has now stepped into a whole nother world, and now Beerus and Goku can have their battle of the strongest, the battle for the universe, the Battle of Gods. Goku and Beerus fight, and Goku is unlocking more and more of his power as he's understanding this new pool of energy. Their fight goes higher and higher, and Goku is now fighting at 100%, and the clashes between the gods is the end of us all. Goku and Beerus clash fists, and the shockwaves from their punches were tearing apart the fabric of the universe, and no, not just the living universe, but the entirety of Universe 7. It was stated by Old Kai, who resides in the Kaioshin realm that exists outside of the entire macrocosm, that everything would be destroyed if they clash a few more times. The Universe 7 macrocosm is a collection of 7 different space-times, with each one having their own dimensions. Every realm in the Dragon Ball universe is stated to be infinite in size, and the afterlife in particular is stated to be a transcendental realm above the mortal universe, and was even stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time multiple times. Goku and Beerus were going to destroy all of this into absolute nothingness just by clashing fists. Goku figures out a way to nullify the destructive energy of the clashes and saves the entirety of Universe 7 from being destroyed. Goku later in the fight eventually loses his god form, however the divine energy has not left his body and instead infuses itself into Goku's being. Goku even demonstrates this as the most devastating attack thrown in the entire battle by Beerus that Old Kai states would destroy everything, is completely annihilated by a single punch from base form Goku. Beerus informs Goku after their battle that there are other gods of destructions in other universes, which gets his Saiyan blood pumping even more as he wants to test his power into the multiverse. Goku ends up training with Whis, the attendant and teacher of Beerus the Destroyer, and obtains a new transformation that he shows off against Golden Frieza. This new power is explained to be a Super Saiyan God tapping into the power of a Super Saiyan. The mix of the fiery red aura of a god and the blinding light of a Super Saiyan produces a new color, Super Saiyan Blue. Goku ends up fighting against these new universe's best fighters, and interestingly enough, it's against the 6th. Universe 6 is stated to be almost identical to the 7th, with the gods of destruction of both 6 and 7 actually being brothers, with Beerus and Champa fighting actually stating that they could destroy both 6 and the 7th universe. The Universe 6 assassin Hid, who has an interesting ability as he can skip time and jump 0.2 of a second into the future, basically arriving before he left. However, Goku is able to predict where he would move into the future and lands multiple blows on someone who's literally in the future. But now Goku doesn't have to guess anymore, as he pulls out an ancient technique from his past that he didn't want to use until his rematch with the Destroyer. This new ability allows Goku's strength, speed, and every other attribute he uses in a fight to double, triple,
No, it's time!
Goku uses Kaioken times 10, a technique that amplifies all of Goku's stats tenfold, and it's so powerful that it's able to snatch characters moving into the future and bring them back to the present. Goku gets hundreds of times stronger and is able to utilize Kaioken times 20 against characters like Fused Zamasu and even Infinite Zamasu, a god who infused himself with the entirety of Trunks' timeline, past, present, and future. Goku actually states he could have beaten Infinite Zamasu if he had just one more Senzu Bean. Goku's strength attracts the attention of the most powerful beings in the entire multiverse, the Omni Kings, who have the ability to wipe away any universe they want by just closing their hand. Goku convinces them to let him fight everyone. Months later, Universe 7 arrives at the Tournament of Power, where 12 universes collect 10 fighters to defend their universe for survival, as the universes that are knocked out will be erased without a second thought. The strongest fighter in the Tournament of Power isn't Son Goku, it's a fighter from the 11th. Jiren the Grey, a mortal who surpassed his own god of destruction, and has multiple statements and guides that say he surpassed all of them. With Jiren just releasing his power within the infinite void confirms the suspicions of everyone, with the Supreme Kai stating that he's on a whole nother level than anyone we've seen before, which would include the divine timeline Infinite Zamasu and possibly even Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, the same one who has statements of being stronger than Beerus. Goku tests his own strength against Jiren, but to no avail, as he's able to block Super Saiyan God's punches with just a single finger, with these punches being millions of times stronger than the ones he threw at Beerus in the Battle of Gods arc. As Goku possesses that universe-crushing power in his base form and is able to put the Super Saiyan God transformation on top of that. Jiren only moves when Goku uses Super Saiyan Blue, but Jiren is still holding back, as even Kaioken times 20 isn't enough to make him serious. Goku uses all the energy of the Universe 7 fighters, combining it into a Universe 7 Spirit Bomb. Even with Goku's trump card, Jiren is still able to push it back with just a glare. Goku falls into his own attack, and his will not to die allows him to tap into something interesting. Arising from the ashes of the spirit bomb is a mortal who tapped into the power that not even the gods can reach. Xeno Goku, autonomous Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct Goku, simply by existing, is able to shake the entirety of the infinite world of Void, with this void actually having space and time contrary to common belief. Ultra Instinct is a technique that Whis hinted at in Goku and Vegeta's training, stating that both of them take too much time to think and rather their body should just move and react on its own. And if they're able to master this, they'll be able to avoid any danger no matter how severe. Goku is now in uncharted territory. Goku has closed the gap in the seemingly unclosable gap in power with Jiren, and the battle is over once the heat leaves Goku's body. Goku gets even more powerful as the tournament progresses, with Goku's Kaioken times 20 being on par with Evolution Blue Vegeta, with Vegeta himself being able to defeat God of Destruction Toppo, and Toppo with a single destruction blast was able to manipulate the entirety of the world of Void. Goku is able to unlock Ultra Instinct yet again in his fight with the Universe 6 Saiyans who used the Patara to become Kefla, as she states she's powerful enough to one-shot an entire universe. Goku, still learning the ins and outs of Ultra Instinct, is able to put her on a t-shirt, and probably the best finisher in all of anime history. Goku unlocks Ultra Instinct for the final time and is now face to face with Jiren the Grey. Once again, when that silver glow leaves his eyes, the battle will be over. As Goku fights, his Ultra Instinct is progressing, getting sharper, hitting harder, dodging swifter, and it's progressing so much that Goku even closes his eyes, so that the only thing he feels is instinct. Jiren decides that this is it, and decides to send his most powerful attack, saying it's over. But that's when Goku awakens something even more terrifying, making all of the gods stand up in admiration. As Goku is enveloped in a divine angelic glow, he flicks away Jiren's attack and sends him flying before he even knew what happened. Standing atop the stage is complete in all its majesty, the mortal above gods, mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. In this state of mastery, Goku is able to completely body Jiren to the point where none of his attacks have any effect on him. But Jiren isn't done either, as he breaks through his limits as well, and Goku and Jiren have the ultimate battle for the fates of both of their universes, for the fates of all of them. The difference between their powers is that Jiren is fighting alone and Goku is fighting for everyone, fighting for all the friends that he's made over the years, the countless battles, teachers to students, enemies to allies. He's fighting for everyone he's ever cared about. That is the difference between Jiren and the hope of the universe. Goku is able to defeat Jiren as the instinct leaves his body, standing alone as the only mortal in existence to unlock a power beyond the gods in only 45 minutes, the power of the low-class warrior, the power of Son Goku. In the end, Goku has come a long way since his battle with the God of Destruction, and now possesses power to wipe away universes in his base form alone. But instead, he decides to protect, to defend the weak, because he's the hope of the universe, the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. He is the protector of the innocent, the light in the darkness. He is truth. Son Goku, ally to good, nightmare to you. Manga Goku. In Dragon Ball Super, there are many differences between the anime and the manga, but one thing that they have in common is that Goku's strength is ridiculous. At the start of the Dragon Ball Super manga, Goku is the strongest fighter on Earth after defeating the personification of evil, Majin Buu. Goku continues to get stronger as he uses visual image training to fight his greatest foes, defeating the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza, who has stated multiple times to be able to destroy the entire universe, defeating the embodiment of perfection, Cell, who has stated to be able to destroy the entire solar system, with solar systems in Dragon Ball being stated to be a galactic nebula, with nebula being composed of innumerable stars. Goku even fights against Buu himself, who was stated in the Buu saga to be able to destroy the entire universe in a poof. And Goku is able to do all of this using his Super Saiyan form alone. But among the stars, an even greater power has awoken after 39 years. Beerus the Destroyer is traveling throughout the universe in search of his greatest rival, a Saiyan enveloped in divine energy, a Super Saiyan God. Beerus learns of the existence of Son Goku and travels to King Kai's planet to confront him, with Goku also learning of the existence of the God of Destruction and wants to test his power against the God. Goku and Beerus are now face to face, and now it's time to see who's the strongest, the hope of the universe versus the universe's destroyer. Goku uses Super Saiyan 3 and gets completely destroyed in only 2 blows, with Goku knowing that the only way to win is to find this Super Saiyan God. Shenron tells the Z Fighters that the original Super Saiyan God performed a ritual to achieve his power. 5 pure-hearted Saiyans must infuse their light into a 6th. All of the Saiyans put their power into Son Goku, and after thousands of years, the Super Saiyan God is born once again. Goku and Beerus have their battle of the gods, with their fight going higher and higher, but the clashing of 2 gods' fists is the end of us all. Old Kai, a being that resides in the Kaioshin realm that exists outside of the macrocosm, states that their clashes will destroy the entirety of Universe 7. With the Universe 7 macrocosm being comprised of 7 different spacetimes, and was stated multiple times that each realm was infinite in size, with the afterlife itself being stated in the Daizenshu 4 World Guide to be a transcendental realm beyond the infinity of the living universe, and was stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time multiple times. Goku loses the God form, but contrary to common belief, the power did not leave him, but instead infused itself into Goku's base form. As it was stated in the Dragon Ball Super anime comic, which is canon to the manga, that Super Saiyan Blue is unlocked when a Saiyan with the power of a god goes Super Saiyan. And even in the Moro arc of the Dragon Ball Super manga, Dende says he couldn't restore base Goku's power because his energy was divine. Goku trains with the angel Whis and unlocks Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan with blue hair dye, Super Saiyan Blue. Goku meets the brother of Beerus, Champa, the destroyer of the 6th universe, who in his battle with Beerus was stated that they could destroy the entire universe as well. Goku ends up fighting against Universe 6's strongest warriors and is now face to face with the Universe 6 assassin Hit, who has the ability to time skip 1/10 of a second into the future, literally arriving before he left. Unlike the anime where Goku uses Kaioken and is able to force himself through Hit's time skip, Manga Goku is able to beat Hit using Super Saiyan God alone. As Whis explains that his ability only works on opponents who are near or below his level, and explains why he was able to beat Vegeta, as Vegeta wasn't even using 10% of Blue's strength due to the energy output. Goku ends up fighting against Fused Zamasu, which is the combination of the immortal Supreme Kai Zamasu and the Saiyan copycat Goku Black. Goku in this fight is able to perfect Super Saiyan Blue and matches the power of a fusion. But that's when Goku pulls out a technique that nobody saw coming. As he jumps into the air, he puts his hand in Zamasu's face, hoping that this technique will allow him to kill immortal beings. A familiar energy surrounds Goku, the energy of a destroyer, Hakai. Goku is able to utilize the energy of destruction, with this energy being so potent that it erases you as if you never existed. Zamasu has had enough and states that he's going to destroy every parallel world in existence, that includes every single timeline, to fulfill his zero mortal plan, with his demise only being met by the hands of the Omni King himself. Goku arrives at the Tournament of Power and is face to face with Jiren the Grey, a fighter from the 11th universe, who is stated to be stronger than his own god of destruction, with the gods of destruction themselves being stated to have power that transcends dimensions. In this fight, Goku is getting completely overwhelmed by this embodiment of strength, and that's when he taps into something, well, faster than anyone can see. Goku gets behind Jiren, and an angelic glow envelops his body. Goku is able to achieve the technique of the angels, the form that gods themselves cannot reach. Migata no Gokui, autonomous Ultra Instinct. Goku is able to fight against Jiren, and his Ultra Instinct is progressing, getting stronger and stronger to the point where he crosses the door into mastery. Jiren attacks Goku, but that's just what he needed, as everyone in the entire stage is shocked, as Goku has his fist in Jiren's stomach. At age 780 of the universe calendar, on this day, a mortal named Son Goku achieved mastered Ultra Instinct. Goku in the state of mastery is able to completely body Jiren, with Jiren breaking through his limits, and now they're fighting for the fates of both of their universes. The silver glow leaves his eyes, and Universe 7 wins the Tournament of Power. It's not yet perfected. Goku, after the Tournament of Power, fights against the legendary Super Saiyan Broly and trains to the point where Whis says that nobody in the universe is stronger than Goku and Vegeta. However, a being who's been in prison for 10 million years has escaped. Moro the Planet Eater is traveling throughout the universe, eating planets, becoming stronger and stronger. Goku ends up training with another angel, Whis' brother Mirus, who's been undercover as a Galactic Patrol member and helps Goku master his Ultra Instinct. Goku has become so powerful after his training with Mirus that when he arrives on the battlefield, he's so fast that not even Gohan and Piccolo can keep up with his movements in base form, as they were able to keep up with Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku's movements in the tournament. Goku is able to utilize Ultra Instinct Omen and fights against an even younger and more powerful Moro, who has absorbed and eaten countless planets. However, it's still not enough, as Goku's defensive abilities completely outmatch his offensive side. Moro eats 7-3, who has the ability to copy his opponents by touching them with the shard in his hands, and becomes 7-3 Moro. Mirus decides Goku needs a push, a way back into the door of mastery. Mirus attacks Moro and destroys the shards in his hand, but not before Moro is able to grab Mirus' neck and copies his abilities. Mirus punches the final shard in Moro's head, but since angels are not allowed to fight in mortal affairs, this is the end. Mirus looks back at the hope of the universe, his friend, and tells Goku that he's come to love this galaxy, this universe full of excitement. Please, protect it all. Mirus is erased from existence and Goku stands there as his friend disintegrates before his eyes. But that's what he needed to achieve this. Goku erupts with energy and it's so fierce that it can be felt by everyone on the battlefield and even people miles away. But then it stops. Silence. Standing in the eye of the hurricane is perfection. And now we see the technique of the angels in its true angelic light. Perfected Ultra Instinct Goku. Perfected UI Goku is so powerful that he's able to completely body Moro, blitzing him and throwing him across the battlefield. Both his offensive and defensive side are fighting in complete and utter unison, as every attack and every block happens on instinct. The gap in strength between Goku and Moro is so great that even though Goku says Moro is the strongest opponent he's ever faced, and even gives him a senzu bean to recharge his power, Moro attacks Goku and shatters his arm on his chest. Moro gains the power of Mirus the Angel and becomes Angelic Moro, with him being able to just match Ultra Instinct Goku's power. However, the power above the gods is too much for him to handle, and he has to infuse himself with the entire planet, detonating the entire galaxy. Goku is able to defeat Moro using an Ultra Instinct Susanoo, and once again becomes the only mortal in existence to have mastered Ultra Instinct. Later on, Goku ends up fighting against the strongest in the universe, the survivor Granola, with Granola making a wish to the Namekian Dragon Balls to become the strongest in the universe, with Goku at this point getting so good at Ultra Instinct that he's able to use it in his other forms, including his base form. Goku fights against Granola and shows that he can access Mastered Ultra Instinct at will. However, an even greater enemy has arisen, becoming the strongest in the universe, Gas. Gas is so powerful that he's able to take on Goku and Vegeta at the exact same time, and Goku figures out that the only way to match Gas's power is to put emotion back into his fighting. Goku is able to unlock a new version, his own version of Ultra Instinct, True Ultra Instinct Goku. In this form, Goku's able to be slightly stronger than the strongest in the universe, and shows once again that this Saiyan has no limits. Looking back, Goku has come a long way since his battle with the God of Destruction, and now possesses power that's greater than the gods themselves. The lowest class warrior to the highest tier god, the angel that was born on Earth, the Saiyan, Son Goku. Kakumei Goku. In the Dragon Ball world, we've seen insane displays of Goku's strength over the years, with Dragon Ball Z showing us legendary forms that have the strength to shake the afterlife. Following into Dragon Ball Super, where his ki runs cold with divine energy, and the fabric of Universe 7 falls under Goku's fists. But when the fans of the Dragon Ball franchise get tired of waiting for more feats of strength, they decide to do it themselves. With Dragon Ball fan mangas blowing up all over the community that shows us the strength of Goku born from our imagination, and even changing people's lives forever, as a mantle has been passed. But today we're going to be looking at arguably the best fan manga ever made, giving us fights we've dreamed of, and portrays a Goku that's so broken, He needs to be chained up by the gods. In the Dragon Ball fan manga titled Dragon Ball Kagame, following the events of Dragon Ball Super and the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, the manga kicks off with one of the most anticipated rematches in Dragon Ball history, the mortal who became an angel and the god of destruction, Beerus. Goku's strength has been honed so much to the point that he's mastered all of his forms and takes on Beerus as a Super Saiyan Blue, with Beerus showing even more of his strength, as this is the furthest he's ever been pushed. Beerus' premonition in Dragon Ball Super is that there would be a rival that can challenge his strength, a Super Saiyan god. But the Oracle Fish was wrong, as the strength that this mortal achieved is far beyond any god. With Goku and Beerus simply standing still, their auras are flaring across not only Universe 7, but every universe in the entire timeline. As we pan over to Universe 6, we see the Universe 6 Saiyans training with the god of destruction, Champa. And in an instant, everyone senses this energy, with Champa asking why is Beerus in this universe? But he's not. Going even further out, we arrive at Universe 11, where Topo is kneeling before Belmod, and the same happens here, with the Universe 11 angel Margarita stating that it feels as if Goku is right next to them. And now everyone is holding their breath, because this is a true battle of gods. Goku and Beerus throw the first attacks in the entire fight at each other at the exact same time, and just the force of their punches missing obliterates the planets behind them, with Goku firing off consecutive ki blasts at Beerus, and Beerus pulling out a brand new technique, which I can only describe as a cloak of destruction, as he's able to catch all of Goku's ki blast and then fires it right back. With one massive explosion, Goku cuts through the smoke and gets right behind Beerus. And for the first time in their rematch, Goku pulls out his signature move, firing a full power Kamehameha right in Beerus' face. Beerus is blasted through multiple planets, but Beerus amps up the pressure even more as he grabs Goku by the face and charges up an energy ball at point-blank range, but somehow Goku is able to escape his grasp and escapes the Milky Way galaxy in what seems like an instant, with Goku and Beerus' fight landing them on planet Gia, where all forms of life turn to ash just by them landing. With Beerus finally catching up to Goku, he grabs Goku by the ankle, and this is probably one of the greatest manga panels that I've ever seen. Beerus chucks Goku's body through a moon, and he flies and crash lands on planet Taco Taco. Beerus makes Goku's body part of the planet's landscape, but when we pan back up to the sky, we see Beerus holding an energy ball that's here to destroy Goku and the entire planet. Goku wakes up and is falling in and out of Super Saiyan Blue, telling everyone in the immediate area to get out of here. Flying up to a nearby moon to redirect Beerus' attack, Goku realizes that a kid latched onto his leg, but Beerus couldn't care less as he throws down his attack at Goku, engulfing the entire moon. But when we see Goku again, all of the skin on his back has been completely scorched off, but Goku managed to save the kid and everyone on the planet. Goku passes out and drops back down to his base form, and just when we think it's all over, Goku hears the voices of everyone telling him to wake up. And just like that, this isn't a battle of gods anymore, because he fell asleep a god and woke up an angel. Arising to fight the god of destruction is Universe 7's second angel, Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. Setting the kid back down on the planet, Goku speed blitzes past Beerus, and what happens next is absolutely ridiculous, as Goku flies even further out and stomps at a planet, gripping it with his bare hands. And that's when Goku's energy starts to rise, as every planet in the nearby area starts traveling towards Goku. And Goku takes planets one by one, chucking them at Beerus at such a high speed that it literally turns into a dragon. And as Beerus is engulfed by the attack, we finally get to see his true strength. Slamming his hand down on Goku's shoulder, we finally get to see Beerus using two powers at once, as Beerus is using the powers of a destroyer and combines it with Ultra Instinct. But now it's time to end this, as Goku puts his hands together and charges up the strongest Kamehameha we've ever seen, with a miniature Goku between his hands. And as his energy rises, his hair turns white, and right before he fires, it's over. Simply accessing Mastered Ultra Instinct for a fraction of a second, all of Goku's ki runs out, and the battle beyond the gods has finally reached its conclusion. With this fan manga's cosmology being based off of Dragon Ball Super, in which each of the 12 universes have their own afterlives that are stated to be transcendental to dimensionality itself. And since Goku and Beerus's ki is actually reaching the spaces between universes that contain all 12, this Goku would be far stronger than his super counterpart. Well, if that wasn't obvious already. Overall, Dragon Ball Kakumei Goku would scale from complex multiversal to layers into outer with infinite to irrelevant speed. In the end, this is the Goku that I've truly wanted to see. A Goku that's so ferocious that all 12 universes tremble under his fists, and yet still protects life by laying down his own. At the end of the Tournament of Power, Android 17's wish brought back all 12 universes that were erased, and even the ones that Xeno destroyed in the past. These new angels imprison Goku because they have plans for a mortal that can achieve Ultra Instinct in 45 minutes. But I wouldn't push this Goku to the edge, because there's only so much that he'll allow, and once he masters Ultra Instinct,
Let's see you try to kill me now.
Super Saiyan 4. Out of all the transformations that Goku has achieved, only one stands as the strongest, with Son Goku being a warrior that never backs down from a challenge, not even from the gods, as the only way for his opponents to stand up to his insurmountable power is by making him a child again. But all that did was unleash something even greater. Looking across all variations of this legendary form, wishes are shattered, limitations broken, and dreams are reality. Gods, demons, they mean nothing to a Saiyan who has reached the peak. A monkey who defies the heavens. Don't act like this is anything new. In age 784, we meet a Saiyan raised on Earth, born with an unshakable will and a hunger to stand above it all. Even from childhood, Goku pursued one goal: to become the strongest fighter in the universe, and 5 years after the Buu Saga, that wish was granted. Every enemy that dared to challenge him was eclipsed, their might reduced to mere echoes in his ever-growing legend. As Toriyama puts it himself, he couldn't imagine a character stronger than Son Goku in the entire universe. As End of Z Goku would also be stronger than Arale, who lives and exists inside the Dragon Ball world, with Arale being a gag character that bends physics to her will, rewriting her own narrative as easily as flipping a page, as he transcends existence, effortlessly stepping beyond her own manga to interact with the very hands that created her. She once tore a page straight out of her own story, holding it in her hands as if reality was a toy to be played with, and yet there was always another Arale watching, another cutting, another existing beyond the last, an infinite recursion of transcendence, each feeling like a dream to the last, granting her outer-versal levels of strength and speed beyond time itself, as Arale even fought a Goku who became a god and went even further beyond, as Vegeta promised to never fight her again, as at this time Arale would get put on a t-shirt by End of Z Goku. 5 years later, all of this unimaginable power is stuffed into a 3-foot body of a child. Being connected to the Dragon Ball movies, he can take out the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, who could wipe out South Galaxy, which galaxies in Dragon Ball are stated to be galactic nebula with innumerable stars. Having access to new abilities like Resurrection and Kaioken times 100, this Goku's able to shake the entire afterlife just by transforming into Super Saiyan 3, as he later surpasses the angel born in hell, who was stated to give wake to an infinite power that can be seen outside of the galaxy from Otherworld, and one-shot Janemba, who's capable of warping the laws of the afterlife and bridges the gap between life and death itself. GT Goku ends up fighting against General Rildo, who was confirmed to be stronger than all of the Buus and even a god of destruction, as Goku gets over 25,000 times stronger from the beginning arc to the very next, needing Super Saiyan to fight Lord Lu to easily destroying robots stated stronger than him in base. But then a new nightmare arises: Baby. The embodiment of the Tuffle's hatred, a parasite with a single purpose: to enact retribution upon the Saiyan race and bring about the universal tuffilization plan. Goku returns home from his grand tour, and his world is no longer his own. His sons, his people, all claimed by Baby's will, their strength amplified by hundreds under his control. As Vegeta as a Super Saiyan is locked into an even battle with Goku's possessed sons until Baby takes control of his own body, ascending beyond all limits, eclipsing even Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who in his base form could defeat Super Saiyan Goten and Gohan with a single arm each, meaning that if Super Vegeta could fight evenly with base Goten and Super Saiyan Gohan, only to later dominate Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who himself could overpower both of his sons as Super Saiyans in his base form, the amplification granted by Baby's possession is over a 450 times multiplier on their original strength. As Gohan in the Perfect Files was stated to never slack on his training, meaning he can now stack Super Saiyan on top of his mystic power. This puts him on a whole new league, as he can even battle against General Rildo in base, the same General Rildo whose strength is equivalent to base Goku from the previous arc, as Goku has now surpassed that level by an unfathomable degree, as he's grown over 20,000 times stronger in a single arc. This is when Baby reaches his own Super Saiyan 3, and with his newfound power he calls forth his most ultimate technique, the Revenge Death Ball, an apocalyptic fear of condensed destruction designed to erase the hope of the universe itself. This attack is so devastating, so beyond comprehension, that it distorts even Kabuto Kai's instantaneous movement, affecting a space that operates outside the laws of time and spatial dimensions, as this realm was previously explored when Goku and Cooler fought beyond the flow of time itself, a domain where their movement shattered the very concept of speed, in this void where distance and time hold no meaning, as even Cooler was stated to have infinite and boundless energy, and yet Baby's attack is able to disrupt this plane of existence, making him out-of-versal in nature and would have speed that is literally irrelevant. Launched into an entirely different dimension by the sheer magnitude of Baby's attack, Goku finds himself trapped in a twisted game, a fabricated reality meant to constrain him. But Goku has never been one to play by the rules. With a single strike, he obliterates the entire dimension itself, as Suguru is left speechless, stating that Goku's power could ignite an entire galaxy. Regaining his footing in reality, Goku returns to fight Baby once more, his tail fully regrown, and this should have returned a lost power. Yet something feels off. Despite his Saiyan instincts telling him he's grown stronger, his strength appears to be unchanged. Doubts flicker for the briefest moments, and then he gazes towards Earth, his home, his people, his purpose. He watches for what perhaps he believes to be the very last time. And then something shifts. A primal force long buried in the depths of his very being begins to awaken. The ground beneath him begins to shatter. Goku erupts and his body's engulfed in a golden blaze as he ascends into the legend once more. The golden great ape has returned. The world trembles as Goku spirals, his inner chaos threatening to rip apart everything. But then, a voice emerges through the turmoil. His granddaughter. Cutting through the storm, she reaches into the very heart of Goku, reminding him who he is, the hope of the universe, the warrior who has faced demons, monsters, aliens, and gods, and time again has arrived on top. A hero who stands as a beacon in the darkest times, the unwavering truth in a world full of lies. As the mountain crumbles beneath him, a new power rises, primal power that rips through his soul. The legend has returned. Sun Wukong is reborn, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. With Super Saiyan 4 Goku being so strong that he stands beyond power itself, a force so vast that Baby's once unimaginable strength is reduced to nothing. The wish that bounded him to childhood shatters, as only an adult body can hold this insurmountable power. As old Kai watches in awe, knowing Goku hasn't tapped into a fraction of his true strength, as Baby releases all his hatred into one ultimate attack, the Revenge Death Ball. Reaching inches from his face, it detonates. An attack meant to erase you so completely that you would never be able to return to life again. Baby believes he's won, but as the smoke begins to clear, realization dawns. He's gone too far.
Now you've got to deal with me.
His power is so overwhelming that Baby sees only one path to victory, becoming what he despises most, Desperation fuels his madness as he floods himself with 1,000 times a normal Blood Waves amount, forcing his body into a golden Great Ape, as Saiyans need 17 million Xenos to trigger the beast within, granting it 10 times amp. As Baby absorbs 17 billion Xenos, 1,000 times more, making him 10,000 times stronger than his Super Saiyan 3, meaning that Baby is over 4 million times stronger than his base form. This ultimately makes the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier 1.6 billion on top of base. Let me explain how. The first thing you have to realize is that Super Saiyan 3 Goku does not scale to Super Saiyan Baby, which would make him more comparable to base Baby Vegeta than anything. That means that Goku from his base to Baby's base, he would need to get 400 times stronger just to match him. As the GT Perfect file states that Baby achieves his own Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3, meaning he just got 400 times stronger. This would mean from base Goku to Super Saiyan 3 Baby, he would need to get 160,000 times stronger. Baby then absorbs 1,000 times the Blood Waves amount and stacks a 10,000 times multiplier on top of his Super Saiyan 3 strength. This would mean he got 4 million times stronger than his base form, or 1.6 billion times stronger than base Goku. As Super Saiyan 4 is not only able to match him, but actually defeat him. As full power Super Saiyan 4 would actually even be stronger than this, as he was able to absorb the Flaming Revenge Death Ball like it was nothing, which is stated to be a negative spirit bomb, as Goku ultimately fires a universe-shaking Kamehameha and wipes the parasite from existence. But before peace can settle, reality cracks open, a gateway between the living and the dead, as from the abyss stands two 17s merging into a single android, Super 17, a fighter forged in hell itself, as he would even be stronger than Baby, as he shrugs off attacks from the entire Z fighters, including Majub, who performed better against Super Saiyan 3 Baby than Goku ever could. With Goku being trapped in hell fighting against Cell and Frieza, who were stated stronger than they've ever been before. However, Goku, just by releasing his energy in base form, was threatening to destroy the entire afterlife, defeating Cell and Frieza easily, and when Goku returns to the living world, he transforms into a Super Saiyan and punches Super 17 across the entire Earth. However, Goku in his base form with an opening from 18 is able to one-shot 17 with a Dragon Fist, as upon making a wish on the Dragon Balls once more, it does call for Shenron, but instead the Dragon Balls are enveloped in a negative energy, and what comes out are the Shadow Dragons, with even the original one being stated that he could destroy the entire universe. Goku and his friends are now on a journey reminiscent of the original Dragon Ball series, however this time, the Dragon Balls will be taken by force. Defeating and collecting 5 of the 7 Dragon Balls, Goku is now face to face with his most prized possession, the 4-star ball Nova Shenron, with Goku stating that Nova is stronger than anyone he's ever faced before, as Goku claims that Nova would need to team up with his brother Ice to actually defeat him, with Ice being even stronger than Nova, as Goku makes this claim come to fruition as his power is cut in half and still one-shots Ice without even trying, proving that he could have actually defeated them both at the exact same time. Goku then comes face to face with the strongest dragon, Sin Shenron, who can tank Goku's ×10 Kamehameha Wave right to the face. This is when Goku gets his power restored by his sons and reaches something truly perfect. This is the pinnacle of Saiyan strength, Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4. With this, he can defeat Sin Shenron while blinded, claiming he can feel every one of his attacks coming before he even makes them, meaning he has his own version, if not better version, of Mastered Ultra Instinct. As Ultra Instinct works as moving on instinct, however, Super Saiyan 4's body knows exactly what you're going to do before you even do, with this form being 32 times stronger than a full power Super Saiyan 4, as Sin tanks a ×10 Kamehameha Wave, which is 22 times stronger than the user. You would need twice the energy of the opponent to completely nullify or tank their attacks, so Shin Shenron was 44 times stronger than Goku, and Goku would tank attacks from Sin, making him 66 times stronger than he was before, making Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 1,689,000,000,000 times his base form. Sin, after collecting all of the Dragon Balls into himself, he transformed into a Mega Shenron with strength 10 times what it was previously, as Goku takes multiple attacks head-on and gets up without a scratch, claiming his body remembers all attacks, so once it lands, it will never work again, no matter how much stronger you are, as Goku is even shown one-shotting the same Omega Shenron with a Dragon Fist, showing that even if you're 10 times stronger than him, you can still get one-shot all the same. However, Omega is a being threatening the existence of the universe itself, as he claims he will destroy it, with his negative energy affecting the entire Universe 7 macrocosm, and even the Kaioshin realm that exists beyond it, with the detonation going to happen so fast that Kibito Kai wants to escape Universe 7 as soon as possible, but Old Kai said that they won't be spared. Vegeta arrives and gains even more blood waves than Baby and transforms into his own Super Saiyan 4, with this being the initial transformation, but can still fight evenly with Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. All this because he was given more blood waves. Even with 2 Super Saiyan 4s, Omega is still able to dismantle them easily, as Goku and Vegeta later see that the only way to defeat this dragon is to become one. Fusing into the single strongest warrior in Dragon Ball history, the angel born in hell has returned, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. With Gogeta being stated to have the power to defeat Omega Shenron with a single finger, with Gogeta kicking the negative karma ball into space that was stated to be the combination of all the negative energy in human history and can wipe away the universe. Gogeta previously in Fusion Reborn was stated to possess infinite strength and now has a form 1 trillion times stronger than that. With a Goku that was confirmed to be the strongest fighter in existence and a threat to outer-versal worlds, as Gogeta possesses strength 570 septillion times stronger than base Goku. As the fusion multiplier takes the strongest forms of each fighter, then multiplies it by 100, making the power for base Gogeta. Then we add the 1,689,000,000,000 multiplier for Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4, making Gogeta one of the strongest characters in history. With GT Goku later being able to tank not 1 but 2 of these same negative karma balls in base, with this attack easily being stronger than 2 Super Saiyan 4s put together. This means that base GT Goku at the end of Dragon Ball GT is stronger than 2 Super Saiyan 4s, with this Goku using a universal spirit bomb to finally end the evil dragon. Now tell me, who can defeat this child with power above the gods themselves?
AF Goku. Dragon Ball is a masterpiece that continues to inspire countless anime to follow in its footsteps. We've been talking about fan mangas and what Dragon Ball fans can create from this beacon, but today we have something truly special, as this fan manga was so good that Akira Toriyama found his successor. In the Dragon Ball fan manga titled Dragon Ball AF, created by Toyable, or as who we know today as Toyotaro, the current illustrator of the official Dragon Ball Super manga, his story was so good that he literally got a job to work on the official series, and now the mantle has been passed. This story follows the events of Dragon Ball GT, where Goku defeated Omega Shenron with a universal spirit bomb and fuses with Shenron, traveling to a place unknown. Going back to Frieza's defeat on Namek, he's floating through space and is taken into King Cold's ship, and Frieza calls out for his father and his mother, a Kaioshin who was supposedly killed by Majin Buu years ago. However, she has no interest in a son who isn't the strongest, and asks, who is this son Goku? Arriving back in the present timeline, 2 spaceships crash land on Earth, and stepping out is the Kaioshin, but another is with her, a Saiyan, and he says his name is Zykor, the heir to his father's son Goku, and the strongest fighter in the universe. We learn that during Goku's 1 year on Yardrat, he was treated by a queen who was the West Kaioshin in disguise, and while Goku was sleeping, she took a sample of his blood and mixed it with her own, and had a son. Zykor runs into Goten and tries to kill him with a single blast, and that's when everyone shows up sensing his energy. He tells Gohan that he's his younger brother. Vegeta asks Zykor what is his goal, and he says that it's to take Goku's place as the strongest in the universe, as Goku is no longer in this world. Vegeta has heard enough and jumps immediately to Super Saiyan 4, but gets completely destroyed along with Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, and the only hope of winning is to seal him in the Z-Sword. As Vegeta, Gohan, and Trunks blast Zykor at their full strength, he is able to stop their attack, but this leaves him wide open, and Gohan swings the Z-Sword down, sealing away his younger brother. But we see that this seal won't hold his strength forever, as it starts to break, giving them a short amount of time to find an answer. But like he said on Namek,
I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace.
We pan out and the Kaioshin are trying to find Son Goku, and they realize that Shenron took him to a realm that was forgotten, a realm far beyond the skies of the macrocosm, and even the Kaioshin realm. We see Goku fighting against Omega Shenron in the Dragon realm in his base form alone, with his realm being stated to be beyond all 12 macrocosms in the multiverse, and Goku's strength has gotten ridiculous. In order to come back to Earth to get rid of his son, the Z Fighters need to collect the 7 Dragon Balls and infuse the power of 7 Super Saiyans into them, and the hope of the universe will return. This ritual seems pretty similar to the birth of the Super Saiyan God, with the Earth only having 6 Saiyans in Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, Goten, Pan, and Bola. They need one more. With the universe being completely empty of the Saiyan race, they have to look up to the skies of the afterlife, as there's one more Super Saiyan whose strength is legendary. Using the 7 Dragon Balls, the Z Fighters call for Shenron and revive the legendary Super Saiyan Broly in order to have enough Saiyans to complete the ritual. Broly is forced to come to terms that he was the strongest years ago, but now he's not even top 10. Once Broly eventually comes around 1 year later, they gather together and infuse their Super Saiyan power into the Dragon Balls, and after a decade, Shenron's light encapsulates the entire lookout, and one man steps out, landing on the ground of the living world. Son Goku has returned. Arriving to face his son, he's going to show him what real strength looks like, as his energy starts to rise. Just as Super Saiyan form alone has surpassed Gohan as a Super Saiyan 4, and his power climbs higher and higher, eventually reaching his peak, becoming the Monkey King Sun Wukong, Super Saiyan 4. But for some reason, his energy is climbing even higher. Everyone is shocked as they are about to witness power that is capable of destroying the entire Dragon Realm just by transforming into this form. And with one final scream and piercing the clouds of heaven, stands the strongest fighter in history. And Akira Toriyama says he can't imagine creating anyone that can stand up to this Goku. Sun Wukong reaching Nirvana. Super Saiyan 5 Goku. This single transformation is the result of a Super Saiyan 4 being able to control all of their emotions until one is pushed to the surface. And right before we got to see what this form is capable of, Toyotaro put on his apron and started cooking in the Dragon Ball Super manga. With this story following the events of Dragon Ball GT, where Goku is able to bully Baby as a Super Saiyan 4, with Baby's Death Ball producing shockwaves that were able to catch and warp the space Kibito Kai was using during Kai Kai, with this space being stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time. And a similar statement was made in the data book for the Cooler movie, where it states that Goku and Cooler were moving through a space that transcends time itself, and Baby's Death Ball was able to reach and warp this realm by pure power alone, as well as Omega Shenron, who was going to destroy the entire macrocosm of Universe 7 and even the Kaioshin realm just by existing. And the same Omega Shenron is getting boxed down by a base AF Goku. But what would be the jump in strength for Super Saiyan 5? Super Saiyan 4's multiplier would be 1.6 billion times Goku's base form, as his Super Saiyan 3 was getting his punches eaten by a Super Saiyan Baby, making it more relative to his base form. And Baby is able to unlock his own Super Saiyan 3 transformation, meaning he would be 160,000 times stronger than Goku's base form, with Super Saiyan 4 being able to surpass this by such a wide margin that Baby needed to become a great ape and get flooded by 10,000 times more blood waves to match his strength, making just the initial Super Saiyan 4 transformation 1.6 billion times his base form. Then Goku in the Shadow Dragon arc gets ultra full power Super Saiyan 4, where he's able to humiliate Sin Shenron, who is able to tank a 10 times Kamehameha to the chest, making Goku's ultra full power Super Saiyan 4 16 billion times base. And this is actually a pretty big lowball, with Gogeta's base form being the sum of the fighter's strongest forms and then multiplying it by 100. If you want to break down on why that is, check out this video by Kazi, making Gogeta's base form 3.2 trillion times stronger than Goku, and then stacking Super Saiyan 4, which would make Gogeta 51.6 trillion times stronger than base Goku. The reason this is relevant is because Toyotaro never gave us a confirmed multiplier for Super Saiyan 5, and we never got to see it in action. However, other fan mangas have. In another fan manga, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta fight against Vegeta's brother Rigor, and he was able to bully both of them as Super Saiyan 4s at the exact same time, with Goku and Vegeta resorting to fusion, and Rigor transforming into a Super Saiyan 5. Now we have our comparison. as Raigor was even stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, meaning the jump from 4 to 5 would be greater than a Super Saiyan 4 fusion jump, making Super Saiyan 5 at an extreme low ball 16 billion times stronger than Super Saiyan 4 and 51 sextillion times stronger than his base. Yeah, this is definitely his peak. Overall, AF Goku would scale layers into Outer Versal with a relevant speed, because this Goku is the one that Akira saw when he made this character. No question, and without a doubt, the strongest. And this is Toyotaro's dream realized. This manga is divine, but too bad it's not official, because no matter what opponent stands against him,
your punches tickle.
Grand Priest Goku. Ever since those 45 minutes, where Goku is able to get the power beyond all the gods, everyone's eyes have been on him. And when that burning glow engulfs his body, and everyone feels the heat, Goku closes his and becomes the strongest. Being at the bottom of the angelic hierarchy, Goku has to climb his way up. And what better way to do it than to train with the father of the angels and make all the gods his sons. Within Dragon Ball Heroes, there are countless versions of Goku across the multiverse, with some being killed by gods, others reaching the pinnacle, and only one reaching the top. After the events of the Tournament of Power, Goku and Vegeta are training on Beerus' planet, and their battle is interrupted by Mai, who tells them that Trunks' life is in danger in another universe. But that's when a demon arrives from the shadows, Fu, the son of Mira and Toa, and the heir to become the king of the demon realm. Fu tells Goku and Vegeta that Trunks is trapped on the prison planet, a place that houses the most dangerous criminals in the multiverse. Goku teleports all of them to a cluster of planets connected by chains, and that's when they feel a huge energy in the distance, and landing on the battlefield is a reflection from another universe. Xeno Goku arrives, and when he sees Fu, he shows just how different he is, jumping immediately to Super Saiyan 4 and forces Goku to jump straight to Super Saiyan Blue, and both Gokus clash fists and exchange blows, with Xeno Goku telling him that it's impossible to escape. And then he gets an idea. Both versions charge up a Kamehameha, and when both blasts connect, they instantly explode. But the chains are still intact. After the battle, Xeno Goku reveals that he's a time patroller, and Fu reveals the truth. He created the prison planet as an experiment to study the strongest warriors in the multiverse, and says he needs to collect all 7 Dragon Balls in order to escape. Fu returns to his lab and decides to release his trump card early, wanting to see what true evil looks like. Arriving on the battlefield is a Saiyan not seen for thousands of years. Cumber is an ancient evil Saiyan that fought against the first Super Saiyan god, and his energy is the highest that they've ever sensed. And now it's time to see who the strongest really is. Goku and Vegeta attack Cumber, and Cumber's energy is able to corrupt Goku, attacking Vegeta out of pure rage. And that's when Frieza's much cooler older brother arrives and shows that he's far beyond his little brother, turning his energy golden and revealing Golden Cooler. Cumber continues to destroy all of them and forces Goku and Vegeta to use the Potara and fuse into Vegito, who jumps immediately to Super Saiyan Blue. Cumber finally sees a real challenge, and both Saiyans begin their battle. Cumber starts overpowering him and forces Vegito to use Kaioken, but this Saiyan's strength is far too much, even for a fusion to handle, and Vegito gets his first L in the franchise. Xeno Goku and Vegeta arrive on the battlefield, and Cumber transforms into a Super Saiyan 3, and both Saiyans skip the warm-up and instantly fuse into Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, with their battle tearing up the entire planet and cracking the chains. In the end, Vegito is able to overpower him and instantly defuses because of the fight. Cumber arises once again, and after transforming into a great ape and destroying everyone, it looks like the planet is going to die. Cumber sends a gigantic blast down to the planet, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta need more strength to win. With Goku unconscious on the floor, we get a glimpse of his true strength, exploding on the battlefield and stepping through the light. Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku has finally arrived. Goku takes on Cumber, and this strength is like no other, as he's able to completely body Cumber, and the fight ends with a point-blank Kamehameha, leaving the Saiyan unconscious on the battlefield. Goku is the winner of the battle. Cumber is saved, but Goku is left to die, and just like Planet Namek, Goku is left on a dying world with nobody to save him. Well, not quite. Goku is saved by the Grand Priest, and he's going to make Goku a true angel, and their training begins now. In Universe 6, we see Hit and the other Saiyans battling against two Tuffle warriors, and Vegeta and Trunks arrive to help them, with both warriors taking over Kale and Caulifla's bodies, and Vegeta is able to knock them out with one final flash. All of them are informed by Hearts, a warrior whose one and only goal is to defeat the Omni Kings themselves with the power of the Universe Seed, which is a power source that connects all timelines and provides its user with immeasurable strength. Hearts asks Hit, who is the strongest warrior in the multiverse, and gets his answer by reading his mind. The strongest warriors from the 11th universe, Jiren the Grey. Vegeta is frustrated, wondering where the hell Goku is. Sending Cumber to Universe 11, the two strongest warriors are face to face, and both of them clash. Both Jiren and Cumber are evenly matched, but that's when Cumber releases his full strength, transforming into a Super Saiyan 3, and their battle is interrupted by Hearts, who tells Cumber to stand down, as another warrior is here to take him on. Before this battle, Trunks and Vegeta arrive at Universe 11 and fights against the two Tuffles from before, and Orn is able to take control of Vegeta's body, giving us baby Vegeta once again. This new Tuffle battles against Jiren, but Zamasu, who's been working with Hearts, jumps in, and Trunks takes on Vegeta. And as Trunks is about to be defeated, hope returns once again. The clouds of heaven open up, and two angels fall. Son Goku is finally here, standing side by side with the Grand Priest. Goku instantly jumps to Ultra Instinct Sign and blitzes baby Vegeta, saving Trunks' life. And Jiren sees this mortal once again. The Grand Priest smiles, saying he'll leave the rest to him. Baby Vegeta attacks Goku, and just his casual swings send him flying, and he dodges all of his blast with ease. And he's literally able to one-shot the Tuffle's soul right out of Vegeta's body. And the angel looks up to send these demons back to hell. Goku dodges another attack from the duo and takes them both on at the exact same time, completely embarrassing both of them, with the Tuffles deciding to use their trump card and fuse together. But the gap is far too wide, and Hearts needs more strength, sending an entire diamond of power to crush Goku, and his Ultra Instinct is running dry. But in the end, Goku is able to overpower it, showing us the true strength of a god. But it's not yet complete. Within these events of Dragon Ball Heroes, Goku is far beyond the one we're familiar with, as even Krillin within Dragon Ball Heroes is able to defeat all of the angels, the Grand Priest, and even Xeno from the main Dragon Ball Super continuity, as even low-tier characters like the God of Time Chronoa is able to merge entire timelines together with her strength alone, and Goku is able to defeat demons, threatening to destroy all of history before he even knew what any of the god forms were. With Demigra transforming even further and being put down by Xeno Goku in base, and later threatening to destroy the real world, with the real world being in reference to Beats World, which views the entire Dragon Ball Heroes multiverse as a video game, as even just the regular Dragon Ball universe houses realms like the Afterlife that are stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time, and Beats World exists beyond all of this, meaning even if there was an infinite dimensional being within Dragon Ball Heroes, they would still be conceptually lower than Beats World that Demigra was threatening to destroy. And all of these realms stand under Goku, with training from the Grand Priest. Overall, Grand Priest Goku would scale to High Outer, with irrelevant speed. In the end, Son Goku has come a long way from his 45 minutes standing above the gods, and now stands shoulder to shoulder with the strongest beings in the multiverse. No matter what timeline, Goku's the same beast. Gods cry out for a savior, like Goku's the Grand Priest.
Xeno Goku, an alternate version of Goku who appears in the show and video game spin-off series Dragon Ball Heroes. After undergoing the events of Dragon Ball Z, the movies, GT, and even the beginning of Super, he became a time patroller battling against the Dark Empire to fulfill his duties as the guardian of history. Xeno Goku, being a time patroller, works through the time nest where all history is stored, and this is where people like Chronoa live and oversee everything in history. Although she would get one-shotted by pretty much everyone in Dragon Ball Heroes, she's extremely powerful in full perspective. While Xeno can erase entire timelines, Chrono was actually able to merge multiple of these timelines together casually, with her even being able to hold up the entire multiverse with her pure strength alone, as she's completely unhinged from time itself as she controls all of it. Demigra, an interdimensional demon who was stuck in the crack of time and planned to destroy all of history, with statements regarding there to be an infinite or uncountable amount of these possible paths of history, with endless possibilities. This is word for word the many worlds interpretation. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics asserts that all possible outcomes of quantum measurements are physically realized in some alternate world. Anything that can happen will happen. With endless possibilities, all quantum events with probabilistic outcomes resolve in all ways at once, passing through a number of Everest branches with each considered to be its own universe, with a probabilistic outcome of there being higher dimensional beings and realms that exist in some alternate timeline within the time nest. These infinite timelines contain realms that house the Sukuruku space and hyperbolic time chamber that has no concept of time and space, and the afterlife, which is confirmed to be a higher dimension of the living universe, transcending it indefinitely, with even the gods of destruction in Dragon Ball Super stating that they transcend dimensions. When I say concepts, I'm in reference to Platonism, which is the view that there exists such things as abstract objects, where these objects do not exist in time and space, and therefore are completely non-physical and non-mental, existing beyond infinite transcendental dimensions, or outerversal. These outerversal constructs exist within each of the histories or timelines, as people as weak as evil Amped Kid Buu before Goku even learns about the god forms can destroy entire crystals that represent timelines themselves. And as I said before, Demigra was going to destroy all of this to absolute and utter nothingness, surpassing characters like Meki Capybara, who could swallow all of the infinite timelines into himself and regenerate endlessly. Demigra even absorbs Toki Toki, a bird of necessary existence for all of history, the controller of fate itself, and exists beyond infinite dimensions, responsible for creating all of the infinite creation, as Demigra has now gained power beyond human comprehension and still means nothing and gets bullied by base Xeno Goku, with Mira surpassing first form Demigra, whose self-destruction alone was powerful enough to obliterate all of space and time contained within the time nest. And even beings like Toa, who can exist outside of infinite timelines, claims that she won't escape this either, and that it's over for everyone. And Mira was ultimately put down and defeated by a post-Universe 6 Saga Super Saiyan Blue Goku, with the same Goku in base withstanding the attack Demigra was going to use to obliterate reality before he even knew what Super Saiyan Blue was. Just to put this in full perspective, Xeno Goku was able to swap hands with a post-Tournament of Power Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Existing outside of everything is Beats World, aka the real world that views the entire cosmology as fiction. We know these aren't necessarily just higher geometrical dimensions in the real world like we would attribute to the difference between the fourth dimension and the fifth, but moreover conceptually higher spatial dimensions, as we know the video game characters like Beat need to join the game as avatars, meaning this is a whole conceptual reality difference. So even an infinite dimensional being in the Dragon Ball Heroes game or Xenoverse would still be conceptually closer to the game than any real world counterpart. This would make the real world in Dragon Ball Heroes a boundless realm, and Demigra in his third form surpasses his previous two that can not only threaten all of the infinite histories in a time nest, but even the parallel quests that extend their own infinite history, with the crack of time being the origin of everything, transcending reality infinitely. And Demigra was going to destroy all of this, including the real world, into absolute nothingness. This would make Demigra a literal boundless threat. And you guessed it, he still got slapped by base Xeno Goku without even trying. With Xeno Goku being stronger than Celius, who can reset all of existence including Beat's world all at once. In Dragon Ball GT, Super Saiyan 4 is a powerhouse and extremely efficient form for Goku to use, with the multiplier for Super Saiyan 4 exceeding billions to trillions of times his base form, which I'll explain further in my GT scale that will come out very soon. However, as formidable as Super Saiyan 4 Goku was in GT, Xeno Goku is a completely different monster. Xeno Goku is so powerful that he's only limited to using Super Saiyan in a fight and no higher, because if he unleashes Super Saiyan 4, his power will be a threat to all of time. With Xeno Goku getting more impressive forms like Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 with Vegeta that was able to defeat Black Janemba, who was stated to be the literal embodiment of the concept of evil itself and the necessary existence for all of creation. However, this power means nothing and gets put down like a dog once Xeno Goku and Vegeta unleash their full power. Later in a fight with Fu, CC Goku and Xeno Goku need to fuse into Xeno Gogeta and CC Gogeta just to stand a chance, with the fusion stating to have power that transcends dimensions. However, they're overpowered in one shot and reverting back to their separate parts. An idea proposed by the Supreme Kai of Time entails that if Xeno Goku and CC Goku merge their power, they might actually have a chance of defeating Fu, who just previously one-shot their fusions. With their combined strength, they're able to overpower Fu's barrier, forcing him to block it himself, with even Fu claiming that that attack could have defeated him. As Xeno Goku and CC Goku have now surpassed their previous fusions, as Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, who was previously stated to have enough power to defeat the Omni King in Dragon Ball Heroes, with Zeno surpassing the gods of destruction, who can destroy all of time in their fights and even reduce Beat's world to nothingness. And even Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who can beat Dark Omega Shenron with one finger, with the same Omega stating to have power that can obliterate reality at a whim. With Xeno Goku being able to fight against Fu, who was able to enter the Charisma world that views even Beat's world as fiction. Xeno Goku being connected to the Xenoverse games gives him a plethora of hacks such as boundary manipulation, meaning there's nothing he cannot achieve, and even makes the impossible possible, as even Demigra had the ability to change fate and probability itself, and we know how that went. He has the ability to control life, matter, space, reality, probability, and even has conceptual manipulation. He has the ability to create miracles or destroy them. Xeno Goku would be a boundless to infinite boundless threat that can obliterate all of reality by wishing it to be so. So I guess in the end, Goku really does solo. Capsule Corp Goku, an alternate iteration of the Dragon Ball Super Goku that appears in the show and video game spin-off series Dragon Ball Heroes. As this Goku has gone through all of Dragon Ball Z, the movies, and the entirety of Dragon Ball Super, ceaselessly evolving and honing its formidable abilities after each significant battle. With this Goku undergoing a transcendent metamorphosis, fostering an inexhaustible wellspring of potential that defies the very limits of imagination, making his growth trajectory unparalleled throughout all of history, as he has the power to take on the entire Dragon Ball franchise all at once. Shenron, hear my wish. I wish to defeat Capsule Corp Goku.
This I cannot do. That is impossible.
Capsule Corp Goku, working through the Time Nest to safeguard all of history and protects life throughout all of creation. As the Time Nest is home to people like Chrono, who compared to pretty much everyone else in Dragon Ball Heroes is extremely weak. However, in full perspective, she's incomprehensibly powerful. While Zeno can erase entire timelines, Chrono is actually able to merge multiple of these timelines together casually and hold up all of creation with her pure strength alone, as she's completely unbounded by time as she controls all of it. As the main antagonist, Demigra, has now broken free of his binds in the crack of time and vows to destroy all of history and recreate it in his own image. As in Dragon Ball Heroes, there are confirmed to be an infinite or uncountable amount of these possible paths powerhouse of history, with endless possibilities, as these timelines contain the afterlife within each and every macrocosm that's stated to transcend the concept of space and time, with this being word for word the many worlds interpretation. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics asserts that all possible outcomes of quantum measurements are physically realized in some alternate world, with endless possibilities. All quantum events with probabilistic outcomes resolve in all ways at once, passing through a vast number of Everest branches, each considered to be its own universe. Basically, anything that can happen will happen, with a probabilistic outcome of there being higher dimensional beings and realms that can exist in some alternate timeline within the time nest, making the time nest itself and Canton City alike a high outer-versal realm, which is crazy considering characters as weak as Evil and Frieza, Cell, and Kid Buu can destroy entire time crystals that represent timelines themselves, as Demigod was going to destroy the entire time nest and even the parallel quests that extend their own infinite history that's external to it, as he absorbs Toki Toki, a bird of necessary existence for all of history, the controller of fate itself, and exists beyond infinite dimensions, as Demigod has now gained power beyond human comprehension and powers up an attack to end all of history itself. But to everyone's surprise, Capsule Corp Goku in base withstands the attack and nullifies it before he even knew what any of the god forms even were, meaning a DBZ CC Goku can catch an attack that was going to destroy infinitely transcending outer-versal worlds in base. Goku later fights against Mira, who surpassed Demigod in strength, with his self-destruction alone being so powerful as enough to obliterate all of space and time contained within the time nest and even outside of it, as beings like Toa, who can exist beyond infinite dimensions, claims that she won't escape this either and that it's over for everyone. However, Mira was put down by a post-Universe 6 Saga Super Saiyan Blue Goku without Kaioken, with Demigod returning with an even more terrifying power as he's now gained a third form that was threatening to destroy the real world, with the real world being Beats World existing conceptually higher than the Dragon Ball Heroes game itself, as it views the entire game as fiction. These aren't necessarily just higher geometrical dimensions in the real world, such as the distinction between the third and fourth dimension. Instead, they represent a conceptual reality difference. In the real world, characters like Beat must join the game as an avatar, as his real body is incomprehensibly higher, further emphasizing the profound distinction between the game's dimensions and the real world's physical dimensions, as even an infinite dimensional being within the Dragon Ball Heroes game or Xenoverse would literally be viewed as fiction to the real world, making the real world in Dragon Ball Heroes a boundless realm, as Demigod was going to destroy all of this until he was put down by Xeno Goku in base, with CC Goku now being stronger than Celius, who can reset all of Beats World, and even Meki Kabura, who could destroy it as he can swallow all of the infinite timelines into his body and regenerate endlessly. CC Goku later battles an even stronger Xeno Goku as a Super Saiyan Blue, with Xeno Goku himself being so powerful that just by transforming into Super Saiyan 4, his power will be a threat to all of time, promising the Supreme Kai of Time he would never use it, but he needs it to fend off CC Goku, with Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku in Dragon Ball Super being a powerhouse as he makes characters stronger than Broly break their arm on his chest, being so confident that he drops back down to base to ask Bro if he even lifts. However, CC Goku is a completely different monster. CC Goku with Mastered Ultra Instinct can obliterate Super Saiyan 3 Cumber, who himself can battle against Jiren and defeat Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegito easily, with Goku learning to tap into Ultra Instinct at will by the Grand Priest himself, as Goku one-shots the Tuffle Orin out of Vegeta's body, showing off his own version of Spirit Fission, as Goku battles against the Mass Saiyan Goku Black, effortlessly overpowering him in his Super Saiyan Rose form, as Black even in base could one-shot Golden Metacooler, who can demolish Super Saiyan 3 Cumber, and easily dealt with Lags, who could stagger Grand Priest Omen UI Goku, as in Rose, he was able to battle Omen UI Goku and Hearts at the exact same time, with Hearts at his peak being so strong that he could 5v1 hit Jiren, Trunks, 17, and Piccolo all at the same time. In a cinematic battle against Fu, the stakes reach an unprecedented height, as Xeno Goku and Capsule Corp Goku find themselves compelled to fuse, becoming Xeno Gogeta and CC Gogeta, as the fusions themselves are stated to have power that transcends the very fabric of dimensions themselves. The situation takes a turn when the Supreme Kai of Time proposes an idea to produce a fusion between Xeno Goku and CC Goku's power into a single entity. With this fusion achieved, Xeno Goku and Capsule Corp Goku unleash an onslaught of power that breaks through Fu's barrier and forces him to block it himself, with the sheer intensity of their attack having the potential to one-shot one-shot Fu, with their newfound power transcending Blue Gogeta, who was believed to possess the capabilities to confront the Omni King himself, with Xeno superseding the gods of destruction, capable of wielding a destructive might to annihilate all of Beat's world into nothingness, with Gogeta even erasing a full-power Super Saiyan 3 Rose Goku Black effortlessly, and even Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who can defeat Dark Omega Shenron with one finger, with the same Omega stating to have the power to obliterate all of reality at a whim. With CC Goku combining his power with the Universe Tree, CC Goku transforms into his most powerful state that can make all of creation tremble. Universal Blue Goku. With this, he's able to completely overwhelm Fu and ultimately defeat him, using a full power Kamei wave to finally end Fu's reign of terror. As in the end, CC Goku and Xeno Goku finally having their all-out fight that they've been wanting since the beginning, as Xeno Goku powers up to the Limit Breaker 4 that was previously able to defeat Black Janemba, who was stated to be the literal embodiment of the concept of evil itself and a necessary existence for the entire multiverse, who himself was able to control dreams to such a great extent that he's able to have a physical form in them, with dreams being devoid of dimensions outside of your control and ideas, making it formless with no concepts being applicable to it by definition. As they battle, we see that UI Goku is faster, but Xeno Goku is stronger, as UI Goku is able to blitz him with a barrage of punches that he couldn't even see, and Xeno Goku hitting him so hard that he goes flying back with a punch that he blocked, with this battle seemingly having no end. Only when tapping back into Master Ultra Instinct with the last of his strength is he able to put Xeno Goku down. Much like Xeno Goku himself, being connected to the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games gives him a plethora of hacks such as boundary manipulation, meaning there's nothing he cannot achieve, and can make the impossible possible, as even Demigra had the ability to change fate and probability itself, and he was put down by Xeno Goku that CC Goku just one-shot. He has the ability to control life, matter, space, reality, probability, and even has conceptual manipulation. And even just by using CC Goku in the game, you win. CC Goku would be a boundless to infinite boundless threat that can obliterate all of reality by wishing it to be so. So I guess in the end, the only one who can beat Goku is Goku.